Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, we continue with the credit score, God's credit score. Yesterday, I started this two-part series on Morning Manna. And today, we're going to finish it up. God's credit score, the credit score. What is God's credit score? What is your belief in Him on that? That's what we're dealing with on this morning. But before we get into it any further, as usual, we just simply want to greet some folk and then get right into the word on this morning. What a wonderful morning it is. Almost feels like spring. Almost. We're not quite there yet. I bet you we're going to have some more chilly weather, but nevertheless, we are here and it's a great day and let's enjoy it while we can. Here we go. Good morning, Ori. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Brenda. How are you? Pamela, how are you? Elder Mobley, how are you? Vicky, how are you doing? Elder Jan, how are you? Missed you on the prayer call. First Lady and I was asking, says, well, she said, well, usually I see Elder Jan, but she missed. I wonder what's going on. But glad to see you this morning on Morning Manna. Good morning, Minister Saint. How are you, Brother Pope? How are you, Brother Nesbitt? How are you, Joe? How you doing, buddy? Future deacon, congratulations, congratulations, and of course, you know I can't make it, and if I can watch, I will do so. Good morning, Ramona. How are you on this morning? Met a cousin or your cousin, family member who's involved in politics and everything, reached out. Thank you for the connections. Thank you for the connections. Good morning, Cynthia. How are you on this morning? Diane, how are you on this morning? Good morning, Arlene, all the way back. Military buddy of mine. Good to see you on this morning. Good morning, Yvonne. How are you all on this morning? This morning, I want you to check your credit score. What's your credit score? Now, that's what we're talking about. It's a continuation from yesterday when we raised this whole issue about God's credit, the credit, if you will. And just want to lean into that. We gave the first three letters from the acronym credit yesterday. Today, we're going to give the last three letters. And let's press into that. Let's press into that. God's credit score, the text to talk, the takeaway. Here we go. John 6:29, our base scripture, and it says, believe on him who was sent. Believe on him who was sent. Believe on him who was sent. What does that mean? In the Greek, that has to do with credit, to contribute credit. When I have belief in someone, I will accredit them or attribute a certain faith toward them. That whole word faith, that whole word belief in the Greek means credit. And you know, in America, you can't hardly get anywhere without any credit. But when we look at it through the lens of a spiritual walk in scriptures, what is it saying? Let me give you a brief review and then we're going to press forward. Yesterday, we dealt with CRE. And we said that when you give a person credit, they had to have good character. They had to have good character. They may not have any money, but they have good character. They haven't blown things up. They do pay their bills. The second thing is that they have good references. They have good references. God has great character. You know his nature. He does not change. God has great references. Go to Hebrews 11, and you will see the Hall of Fame of faith: Enoch, Noah, Isaac, Abraham. The list goes on and on. Samson, so many that can reference that God can reference to. And then eligibility. We raise this whole issue of, you got to be eligible to get credit. I told you the story very quickly. Is when I was in high school, wanted to go to the prom, didn't want to drive the family car. I wanted something nice, wonderful. Try to go rent a car. They said, you are not old enough. You're not eligible. But God, quite so is eligible. He is the beginning, from the beginning to the end. He is certainly old enough. He is Alpha and Omega. So God doesn't have to worry about all of that. Let's now deal with the DIT. The DIT of God's credit score. The thing is, he's dependable. He's dependable. You can depend on God to do what he says he's going to do. You can depend. We just prayed about that. You can depend on God to do what he said he's going to do. Hebrews 10:23 says, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we confess, for he who promised, go on, church, is faithful. For he who promised is faithful. Hold on unswervingly with your hope. Hope, I like to say, is the emotion of faith. You take the H out, you got faith. But when you put the H in with hope, you got faith. You can depend on God. It's got a good credit score. Here's the second thing, or I should say, the fifth thing in this series is insightful. The I in credit is insightful. God is insightful. We see that in the life of Christ. In Matthew 9:4, Jesus knew what they were thinking. So Jesus knew what they were thinking. So when he knows what you're thinking, that means he's going to operate on your behalf. He's going to get ahead of the curve on your behalf. It's insightful, it's dependable. Here's the last thing: will not take advantage. You don't want to give somebody credit. Somebody that's just not dependable, they won't keep their word. They're all over the place. And they simply will take advantage of you. Lend them some money, you already say, I'm not going to lend you any money because you're not dependable. I can see that. I'm insightful. And here is the fact: you're going to take advantage of me, but God will not take advantage of you. First John 4:18 says, perfect love casts out all fear. He's not going to take advantage of you. Don't be fearful. You already know in Psalms 143, it says that he loves us with an unfailing love that he loves us. Why? God's credit score, you can depend on, is out of the roof. He's going to do what he says he's going to do. Well, what's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway this morning is, as it was yesterday, check God's credit score when you pray. When you pray, check his credit score. He's good. The Lord be with you today. His face shine upon you and give you peace. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. Put your comments in the chat area so others can get the cumulative effect of the revelation. I'll see you tonight with a powerful word as we walk through the Bible. You can be online or here in the sanctuary at New Life. God bless you. Share the manna. Bye now.